this is Cresta again with you today. And today I want to continue my talks, if my puppy will be quiet enough for me to do this. She's a little whiny right now. Kind of maybe wanted to touch more on the subjects of narcissism and addiction, codependency, as I take a look at my own life and my own struggles, how difficult it can be when you're dealing with someone in your life that is an alcoholic, that is still into drugs, sometimes or all the time. If it be just on the weekends, if it's an everyday occurrence, if they can't stop, no matter if they have hid it from you for a while, and or if you're struggling with your own issues as well. Being whether it's love addiction and you're still into that guy or girl that reminds you a lot like your father or mother, in small ways. Maybe that unavailable partner, that partner that likes to cheat, whether it's where you might be where your life is in jeopardy from dangerous people in your life, or situations that you put yourself in. Maybe you're back in the dating world, you're having sex. Are you still practicing rules of safety when we are pulled into out there in the world and we're trying to find a partner or new friends or new social hangouts during our recovery process? Can be a very difficult place. It's definitely not the old days like it used to be, where you are just in a relationship, and then one day it just fails. It gets so bad that one day it just fails, and then you move on to the next. Or when you're, she wants her blankie. When you're in the parties yet, or drinking in that bowling league every Saturday night, and everybody is drinking beer and you are drinking as well, not just one or two, where maybe it starts that way and then it becomes more, if we're grappled back into those situations again, where you might have stopped for a while and then you fall back into that pattern again. That pattern again is relapse. No matter, there's no other really word to describe it. I think even in relationships, where we can maybe finally cut off ties with this person for maybe even if it's just a few months at a time, wherever you are, if you can break it off with this person for even every other week and just start breaking it off like that. I know it's really hard to go no contact all at once. It's almost like, very similarly reminds me of an addict. And when somebody, or the past ways of dealing with it were, well, you just need to stop doing that drug. Or very similar to like, well, you just need to stop having that relationship. And that's that. Just cut yourself off now and don't do it anymore. Sometimes it's hard for me, I guess, to even watch videos that are played where narc abuse is involved, where that person is stating you need to go no contact now, and the sooner you do it the better, and now is in your face. I kind of am looking at a different approach to this right now, something a little less severe, because I know I've been there, done that, I've been there, still go there, and then it's basically another kind of addiction, and that is love addiction, codependency. So this is the topic or realm tonight. It's gotten there. So at least now I know where I'm at. And it is really good to journal or journal a video or do something to understand what process you are dealing with momentarily. And maybe what could help other people as you talk and discuss things throughout the day. If you are isolated, especially like if you're still stuck on that person, or probably even where any kind of addiction is concerned, when you're feeling more isolated away from everybody and don't know what to join in or don't know what to do, whether you live in a small town or if that person in your life is turning whoever against you, or saying you can't join in on the fun, and you're often recluse and left out because you're the scapegoat, you're the empath, you're outcasted, possibly more in society because of that, and there might not be a whole lot of things you think that you can do. Or maybe not have time to do. Maybe you're limited money-wise, whatever it may be. Still, I want to keep the focus here about where are you in your path today, And I think it's important for me to understand this right now and share it with y'all, that it's so easy with addictions to do the old way that a lot of people still believe, and that is to shame, blame, and guilt that person into they're wrong because they cannot stop their addiction. Okay? And I know it can get to every single one of us. Like, drilled through the head so many times by whatever, maybe our abusive parent, ex, whatever, where you are made to feel not good about the decisions that you make and punished. And so, with a wide collection, a worldwide vision still that this is the way to do things, you have to remember that it is still a misunderstanding of the collective brain yet, which we are now learning, thank God, that there are books and new techniques and ways of dealing with addiction that are just breaking through and coming forth. I'm so excited to read this new book I got. I think I put it in the other room. But it's all about the changing the old structured way of putting shame, blame, and guilt on us as individuals, that we can just stop these habits, that we can just put them down and forget it and not crave that person or that thing intensely sometimes, you have a good day and then you have a bad day where you're going to want to use again whatever it is and go towards it, whether it's more of getting that person's torture and they're complete piece of crap. I mean, when we start becoming honest with ourselves and learning about the types, these toxic types that we keep being drawn to, or if, again, it's another cigarette just to de-stress, another, big fat burger when you're in the middle of your diet, are you going to let other people beat you up about it? Or, are you going to beat yourself up about it anymore? We can get so beat up and beat on after we use again. Whether, it's that partner, or if, you feel like somebody has tricked you into doing it, or all these different things as to why you did use again. And that person has beat you down again, be it emotionally, verbally, physically, whatever it is. Do you still have to look at yourself like, okay, but I did choose that. Nobody forced me to go there again, because we do have to stop, forgive ourselves, instead of saying, oh, you're so stupid, why did you ever do that? You do have to forgive yourself, and that you do and always will have the choice, okay? We always will have that choice. And even if people have bossed us around all our lives and told us that we didn't have a lot of choices and they were going to make that choice for us, because if we didn't, then we were not going to fit into their little schwache or whatever it is, their little niche and hang. And even if you loved these people with all your might, or looked up to these individuals, beginning to think for ourselves is a huge step away from the society that no longer, or ways that no longer work for us or make us happy. We might be in complete misery trying to hang on to this type of mindset and collective mindset, though, of these certain individuals, or old, thoughts still ingrained in our heads. So I know it can be really hard for me sometimes, after a relapse can happen, that instead of being, after you come down from being pounded on by whatever it is, and you're just exhausted, you walked right into that terrorizing again of whoever or whatever it was out there, and you feel all not safe again, and you're really not quite sure how to feel safe anymore. Go back into your recovery. Don't miss a beat. Talk about it, I think, is so important. If you don't have anybody to talk about it to, journal it. Go get some help. Join that recovery group. Join that church group. But make sure it's a place that understands and can talk about their own struggles as well, where your minds can connect, and there becomes this great understanding and compassion for each other. where that is allowed and that you are all accepted, gives so much great wholeness and meaning. Call your kids again. Even if they might have shut you out of their lives because of your old ways, talk to them. Tell them about your recovery today. Don't shut it all out and don't give up hope that you cannot bring some of these people that you love back into your life to share with them so your heart does not cut off. You have to keep a connection to your heart, even if how lonely you are, or maybe everybody's turned against you and you're all alone, living all alone. Or, just feeling very alone when people around you don't seem to understand. Make sure that you do have connections in your life where I'm going to talk again about that giving up hope. We need to keep hope alive in order to sustain and collect ourselves. I'm going to be getting my mind off of things like I talked about before that my brother had passed a while ago of methamphetamine, an overdose, and he committed suicide. It was actually called I was told it was, I forget what it was called, but I can describe it, where he had injected on such a high dose of it that it's like a euphoric high, but it was such a high dose that when a person comes down off of it, it literally can make them crazy. And because you don't know how to handle the drug, they come down off because it's so powerful and so much of it. So the results have just come back about my brother. I found that out through my family. And it's just so intense to handle, even when there's loved ones in your life that have contended with these things and death has occurred, or incarceration, illness, or whatever it is. The grief, and the devastation can be so incredible that, I find myself strangely being inspired and thankful that my mind has found something else to do with it as I've had to move during this time, and feel as I pray God all around, and even His Spirit all around me, connecting with me to the right things. I've always loved to paint. Never feel like I've had time to paint in like 5 years. A while back, I did go and take a painting class, and that kind of began my inspiration again. After all my drugs and illness, like, 6 years ago, when I was on my last bout, hopefully, of methamphetamine myself, that I'm getting back on the ball of painting a little bit, and things have come to me in the right way. Like, I've been wanting to do some angel paintings, and I moved to this place where it's one of I can do kind of what I want to with it. I can paint kind of what I want in it. And my playfulness is becoming more alive a little bit more, because it's not in a community apartment anymore. And so I've decided I'm going to do some blue skies and angels in my bedroom, and so forth, and around the house. And it's amazing when you can get your creative side out and just maybe grab a wall to paint, or fix your yard, or whatever it is, whatever your tinkering habits are, to get your mind um, kind of uplifted from that heavy grief that can really kind of ruin your days, day after day, to kind of stay inspired by whatever it is that you can create for yourself, that you find fun and interesting, as something healthy. And then what was incredible during that was, at the time, I had taken one of my friends to the donation center. And I remember finding a blanket that day that was the angel cherubs. And I was so amazed and thankful, grateful to find that in every way. Um, because that there had like a bunch of different styled cherub angels on there that I could look at, and to help me paint them. So I do believe that the universe does have a reason, and sometimes it's very motivating to maybe get some of your dreams going again, um, and keep you up, especially during hard times. And there are definitely spirits and angels up at play. And I'm just so grateful and blessed. And I hope to show each and every one of you some of my work when I get done. And hopefully that will be soon, because things in here are still kind of in boxes. But me, an artist at heart, just remind me that we do need to keep going. And bless you all today. Thanks for listening.